New Frontier started about 5 years ago. We started off really small. We were selling hats out of the back of our Jeeps, hustling around Morehead State, their campus, and then we built an online store, and from there we grew very slow, into the brand that we are today. But New Frontier started out, out of a garage, out of a Jeep, hustling, on a very small scale. So we built it brick by brick, online store to getting onto Amazon now and being sold across the U.S. So those early days were very key and important to the growth we've seen today. It's being an entrepreneur in Appalachia and being from Appalachia is one of the coolest things to us, and we take a lot of pride in that because, being from here, growing up here, not everybody gets to do something creative. They don't get to live out their dreams and chase them down. So we feel really lucky to be able to do that.
So at New Frontier, our mission is to bring sustainable wares and produce them in Appalachia and spread them globally. Each and every day we spread our Appalachian roots globally through what we do, and that just happens to be through clothing. As we progress into the future, pivoting our compass towards a sustainable path into what we do is very important to us, and we're working towards that each and every day.
Yeah, and one would think you'd have to be in like a tech hub in Austin or Brooklyn or Asheville to do something sustainable, futuristic in textiles, or even in that fashion lane. But we take a lot of pride in doing it here off the grid in East Kentucky, Appalachia. It's a great place to work from. We built our brand here, we're based here. Every time somebody gets a package from New Frontier, it says, proudly designed in Appalachia. Chasing dreams here is totally something that's doable. It's not a far off crazy thought that you can chase your dreams from Appalachia or be based from here. With COVID, I think we've all learned that you can work off the grid. You don't have to be, in the big city or anything like that, and we take a lot of pride in that. As far as challenges go in starting a business or being an entrepreneur in this region, I would say early on it was, reach and people, like being in a rural area, being off the grid, so to speak. You're not a huge city with a ton of connections and a lot of people, but the great thing is everybody's got the internet and social media is free. You can reach so many people through Instagram, Facebook, and our online store. Like that's what's really helped us grow today, is putting a lot of eggs in that basket, working on our online store and keeping our socials clean, as we like to say. We put a lot of effort in that, and you could see that as an obstacle, not having a ton of reach of where you're at. But if you work hard in other areas, you could operate off the grid and not have to be in a huge tech hub or a big city. My advice to somebody starting a business or thinking about becoming an entrepreneur: be authentic. Don't be afraid to be yourself. We both have accents. I know that gets talked about a lot, but you'd be surprised. You go out west, you go to other places, we all know what they say, but that's what makes it, I feel like, makes us unique. I embrace that. That might sound corny, but that's one of the first things that, the bit of advice that I would give somebody, because, it's hard to replicate you. Be yourself and lean into your own voice. We started literally just from scratch. Had plenty of people tell us no, to not do this, and to try something else. Some guy said we should go sell cars. Said there's more money in selling cars than starting an online brand. But like the people at SOAR have been so helpful, with resources, advice. Many of them have been in the trenches, so to speak, and I feel like they are a great tool and source to use when you're thinking about starting something or you have questions about it.